Yo, what's good, guys? Raging Jermasian. I want to thank you for coming back to my channel, as well as I want to thank you guys for joining me for another news story that I have for you. So this one right here is actually going to be an update on a news story that I did for you guys not too long ago. It's an update on the story of the 4 U.S. citizens that were kidnapped at the Mexican border by the cartels, and unfortunately 2 of those victims were murdered, but fortunately 2 of them were brought back to the U.S. and they did survive with some injuries. One of them apparently was shot, and the other one was apparently roughed up. So first off, before we get started on the update, I need to clarify with you guys that on the first video that I made of this incident, I had made a mistake on stating who had actually survived and who was actually murdered. In my first video, I stated that Latavia McGee was among one of the ones that were murdered. Fortunately, she is one of the survivors and she was reunited with her family back in the U.S. I also stated that Zindell Brown was amongst one of the survivors. Unfortunately, he was murdered in this incident. So again, just to clarify, Latavia McGee and Eric Williams are the 2 surviving victims of this incident. Second off, I do want to apologize to you guys for giving any kind of false information. I'm the kind of person that is really passionate about the news, so whenever I do a news story, I definitely want to make sure I don't give out any kind of false information. So basically, when I did my first video, the story had just broke, and obviously I got my sources. One of my sources was inaccurate, and I had relayed that information to you guys. I do apologize if I offended anybody. Again, I always want to give you guys 100% factual news. I don't want to leave out anything. Don't want to give any kind of misinformation. So again, I do apologize. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this update on the situation here. So a letter and 5 men found bound at the wrist and at the ankles were found at the site where these 4 U.S. citizens were actually kidnapped back on March 3rd. Did the guy in the middle have a goddamn smile on his face? Jesus Christ, bro. What is wrong with people? This fool just... Oh God, whatever, dude. Apparently, these 5 men that were found bound, they are responsible for the kidnappings and for the murders. So the letter reads as follows. We have decided to turn in those who are directly involved and responsible for the events, who at all times worked under their own decision-making and lack of discipline. It also stated that said individuals had went against cartel rules, which include respecting the life and well-being of the innocent. These 5 individuals that were found bound are now in U.S. custody. I mean, that's cool and all, and I'm glad that they were caught, but an apology letter from the cartel? I've never heard of no shit like that. I mean, that does show that they ain't having none of it when it comes to the rule breakers, and that they actually have a little bit of remorse and some heart for the victims that were murdered. We're talking about the cartel here. Now, that shit kind of confuses me because if you guys pay attention to the news, and I did not do a story on this, and I'll explain to you guys why. If you guys pay attention to the news, about 2 months ago, a family of 6 in Goshen, California, were gunned down execution style by the cartel. Now, amongst these 6 victims, 2 of the victims was a 16-year-old mother and her 10-month-old baby. These 2 were chased down the street and they were shot in the back of the head execution style. A 16-year-old mother and her 10-month-old baby. I truly can't imagine what this 16-year-old mother and her 10-month-old baby had to do with this situation. Like I said, I didn't do a story on that one and I was going to, but the reason why I didn't is because of the harsh facts that were at hand. That one is brutal. When I saw the surveillance video of this 16-year-old mother take her 10-month-old baby and drop it off over a fence, and then just to have her climb over another fence and then run down the street, knowing that they were chased down by cartel members and then shot in the back of the head in the middle of the street, is sickening to me. I wanted to do a story on it. There was a lot of information that I had to put down and a lot of information that I had to take, and it was brutal as shit. It was bad, man. So if you guys want any kind of information on that story, I mean, I'm not going to rob you guys of the story. You guys can look it up. Google it. Google Goshen murders. I mean, it happened a couple months ago. People have been arrested, thank God. And it's a sad, sad story, man. Anyway, check it out if you guys want. That kind of shit is so harsh, so sad, so disturbing. But again, this is the news. This is the kind of bullshit that happens amongst us on a daily basis. Keep your head on a swivel. So anyways, guys, there's the update. 5 men have been arrested and they are in U.S. custody. Apparently, they are the ones responsible for the kidnapping and for the murders, and apparently their own people turned them over. It is what it is, man. That being said, I'll definitely try to keep you guys up with any kind of information that I may have, any kind of trial dates, any kind of updates. I mean, anything. I mean, these guys are going to face charges for sure. They're going to face kidnapping charges, you know, murder charges. Who knows if it's first degree, second degree, whatever it may be. But check this out, man. If there's any kind of updates, I'll definitely follow up on the story, and I'll definitely give you guys another update video. You know what it is. I'm Raging Jamasian. Again, I want to thank you guys for coming back to my channel. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this story. I know the shit is harsh. The shit is brutal. Shit's hard to hear. But with this update, there's good news. 5 men have been arrested. Hopefully, they'll pay for what they did. So if you like what you saw today, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you got friends and family who are interested in news and food and who want to be updated on news, go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. Also, go ahead and hit the bell notification button. That way you guys can be notified on any kind of food and news stories that I do for you guys. I do appreciate you guys sticking with me. Again, this is Raging Jamasian. Stay safe, stay positive. We're all humans out there. Please try to treat each other as such. And man, just keep your head on the swivel, especially when you go over the border. And I mean, shit, I told you guys in my first video, my trip to TJ, that shit is scary, man. Eyes are all up on you, and they don't give a shit, man. They'll rob you for the smallest, dumbest shit. I mean, life is different in foreign countries. It is what it is. Okay, guys, I'll be back with another one. You guys take care. Peace.